There's a primal satisfaction that comes from building something with your own two hands. It's a feeling that connects us to our ancestors, who relied on their skills and resourcefulness to survive and thrive. In today's world, where so much is pre-made and pre-packaged, taking the time to create something from scratch can be incredibly rewarding. When that something also heats your home and cooks your food, well, that's a special kind of magic. Imagine the aroma of a hearty stew simmering on a stove you built yourself, or the warmth radiating from a fire you kindled with your own hands. It's a deeply satisfying experience that brings a sense of accomplishment and comfort. Building your own wood-burning stove isn't just about saving a buck, though that's a nice perk. It's about learning new skills, understanding the materials you're working with, and gaining a deeper appreciation for the craftsmanship involved. It's a journey of discovery where each step brings you closer to a tangible result that you can be proud of. It's about harnessing fire, that ancient element, and bending it to your will. Fire has been a crucial part of human civilization for millennia, providing warmth, light, and a means to cook food. By building a stove, you're tapping into that ancient knowledge and making it your own. You're creating a tool that will serve you and your family for years to come. It's about the pride of craftsmanship, the joy of self-reliance, and the simple pleasure of a warm fire on a cold night. There's something incredibly fulfilling about knowing that you have the skills and knowledge to create something useful and beautiful. It's a reminder of what we're capable of when we put our minds to it. Now, I'm not promising it's going to be easy. There will be challenges along the way, and moments when you might feel like giving up. But those are the moments that test your resolve and make the end result even more rewarding. Each obstacle you overcome is a testament to your determination and perseverance. Building a stove takes time, patience, and a healthy respect for fire. It's important to approach the project with care and attention to detail. Safety should always be your top priority, and taking the time to do things right will ensure that your stove is both functional and safe to use. But with a little grit and the right guidance, you can create a source of warmth that will last for generations. Imagine the stories you'll tell, gathered around its glow, sharing tales of sweat, sawdust, and the triumph of creation. Your stove will become a cherished part of your home, a symbol of your hard work and ingenuity. Think of the stories you'll tell, gathered around its glow, sharing tales of sweat, sawdust, and the triumph of creation. These moments of connection and storytelling are what make the effort worthwhile. Your stove will be more than just a functional piece of equipment. It will be a focal point for family gatherings and a source of warmth and comfort. So, if you're ready to trade some elbow grease for the satisfaction of a job well done, if you're eager to learn and grow through the process, then this project is for you. It's an opportunity to challenge yourself and create something truly special. If you're not afraid of a little hard work and a lot of heat, if you're willing to put in the time and effort required, then you're ready to embark on this journey. It's a journey that will test your skills and patience, but the rewards are well worth it. Then roll up your sleeves and let's get started. We're about to embark on a journey of fire and steel, of craftsmanship and ingenuity. Together, we'll build something that will stand the test of time and provide warmth and comfort for years to come. We're about to embark on a journey of fire and steel, of craftsmanship and ingenuity. This is more than just a project, it's an adventure that will leave you with a sense of pride and accomplishment. So, gather your tools, clear your workspace, and let's get to work. We're going to build ourselves a darn fine stove. One that will not only serve its purpose but also stand as a testament to your hard work and dedication. Let's make something amazing together. Before you even think about picking up a saw, you need to take a step back and consider the bigger picture. Building a stove is a rewarding project, but it requires a solid plan and a clear understanding of your goals. We need a plan. Building a stove isn't like whipping up a batch of flapjacks. It requires careful thought and preparation. First, consider your needs. How big is your space? Are you looking to heat a cozy cabin in the woods or a larger family home? The size of your space will directly influence the size and capacity of your stove. It requires careful thought and preparation. First, consider your needs. How big is your space? Do you want to heat a single room or your entire home? Think about the layout of your space and how the heat will circulate. A well-placed stove can make a world of difference in how effectively it heats your home. Do you want to heat a single room or your entire home? Will you be using the stove for cooking as well? Some stoves are designed with cooking surfaces or even ovens, which can be a fantastic addition if you enjoy rustic, wood-fired meals. Will you be using the stove for cooking as well? The answers to these questions will determine the size and design of your stove. Next, let's talk materials. Steel is the most common choice for wood-burning stoves, and for good reason. It's durable, conducts heat well, and can withstand high temperatures. But there are other materials to consider as well. The answers to these questions will determine the size and design of your stove. Next, let's talk materials. Steel is the most common choice for wood-burning stoves, and for good reason. It's durable, conducts heat well, and can withstand high temperatures. However, you might also consider cast iron, which retains heat longer and can add a classic look to your stove. It's durable, conducts heat well, and can withstand high temperatures. You'll need to source steel plates of varying thicknesses for different parts of the stove. The firebox, for example, will need thicker steel to withstand the intense heat, while other parts can be made from thinner material. You'll need to source steel plates of varying thicknesses for different parts of the stove. Don't forget about insulation. A well-insulated stove burns hotter and more efficiently. Insulation materials like vermiculite board and fire bricks are essential for maintaining high temperatures and ensuring your stove operates efficiently. A well-insulated stove burns hotter and more efficiently. Vermiculite board and fire bricks are your friends here. Now comes the fun part, sketching out your design. You can find plenty of plans online, or you can let your inner artisan run wild and design your own. Just make sure your design includes all the essential components: a firebox, an ash pan, a flue, and a damper. Vermiculite board and fire bricks are your friends here. Now comes the fun part, sketching out your design. You can find plenty of plans online, or you can let your inner artisan run wild and design your own. Just make sure your design includes all the essential components: a firebox, an ash pan, a flue, and a damper. These elements are crucial for the stove's functionality and safety. You can find plenty of plans online, or you can let your inner artisan run wild and design your own. Just make sure your design includes all the essential components: a firebox, an ash pan, a flue, and a damper. Take your time, measure twice, cut once, and remember. A well-planned stove is a happy stove. And don't forget to check local building codes and regulations to ensure your stove is compliant and safe to use. Just make sure your design includes all the essential components: a firebox, an ash pan, a flue, and a damper. Take your time, measure twice, cut once, and remember. A well-planned stove is a happy stove. And don't forget to check local building codes and regulations to ensure your stove is compliant and safe to use. Once you have your design and materials ready, it's time to start building. This is where your planning pays off. Take your time, measure twice, cut once, and remember. A well-planned stove is a happy stove. With patience and precision, you'll create a stove that not only warms your home, but also brings a sense of accomplishment and pride. Happy building. Every craftsman knows that the right tools make all the difference. Building a stove requires a few specialized tools, but don't let that intimidate you. A trip to the welding supply store and maybe a peek at your neighbor's workshop, with permission of course, should set you straight. First and foremost, you'll need a welder. A MIG welder is a good choice for beginners, but if you're comfortable with an arc welder or a TIG welder, those will work too. Next up, an angle grinder with cutting and grinding discs is essential for shaping the steel plates. Don't forget safety glasses and ear protection. Those sparks don't mess around. You'll also need a variety of hand tools: a tape measure, a metal ruler, a square, a center punch, a ball-peen hammer, and clamps. And let's not forget the materials: steel plates of various thicknesses, fire brick, vermiculite board, stovepipe, a damper, door hardware, and high-temperature stove cement. Gather your tools, lay out your materials, and let's get ready to build. Section 4. Laying the foundation, the stove's base. The base of your stove is its foundation, so it needs to be sturdy and level. This is the part that will bear the weight of the entire structure, and any imbalance here can lead to significant issues down the line. Ensuring that the base is perfectly level is crucial for the stability and safety of your stove. Use a high-quality level tool to check and double-check your measurements. Start by cutting the steel plate for the base to your desired dimensions. The size of the base will depend on the overall design and intended use of your stove. Make sure to measure twice and cut once to avoid any mistakes. Cutting metal can be a challenging task, so take your time and ensure you have the right tools for the job. Remember, the base needs to be large enough to support the weight of the entire stove. This means considering not just the stove itself, but also any pots, pans, or other items that will be placed on it. A larger base provides more stability, but it also means more material and weight, so find a balance that works for your needs. Once you have your base plate, it's time to create the legs. The legs will elevate the stove and provide the necessary clearance from the ground. This is important for both safety and functionality, as it allows for proper airflow and prevents heat damage to the surface below. You can use steel tubing or angle iron for this. Each material has its own advantages. Steel tubing is generally lighter and easier to work with, while angle iron provides more strength and stability. Choose the material that best suits your design and requirements. Cut the legs to the desired height, and weld them to the corners of the base plate. The height of the legs will depend on how high you want your stove to be. Make sure to measure accurately and cut each leg to the same length to ensure an even and stable base. Make sure the legs are even and securely welded. Uneven legs can cause the stove to wobble, which can be dangerous when cooking. Use a level to check the alignment and make any necessary adjustments before finalizing the welds. You don't want your stove wobbling. A stable base is essential for safe and efficient cooking. Test the stability by applying pressure to different parts of the frame and make sure there is no movement. Now take a moment to admire your handiwork. Building a solid base is a significant achievement and sets the stage for the rest of your project. Appreciate the effort and precision that went into creating a strong foundation. You've laid the groundwork for a magnificent creation. A well-built base is the cornerstone of a successful stove, and you've done an excellent job. But remember, this is just the beginning, but we're not done yet. There are still several steps to go before your stove is complete. Each step is crucial and requires the same level of care and attention to detail. For added stability, consider adding cross braces between the legs. Cross braces help to distribute the weight more evenly and prevent the legs from twisting or buckling under the heat and weight of the stove. This will prevent the legs from twisting or buckling under heat and weight. Cross braces are an excellent way to reinforce the structure and ensure long-term durability. Once the cross braces are in place, give the entire base a good once-over, checking for any imperfections in the welds. Look for any weak spots or areas that may need additional reinforcement. Remember, a solid base is essential for a safe and efficient stove. Taking the time to build a strong foundation will pay off in the long run, ensuring that your stove is both functional and safe to use. Section 5. Building the firebox, the heart of the beast. The firebox is where the magic happens, where wood transforms into heat and light. It's also the most challenging part of the build, so pay close attention. Begin by cutting the steel plates for the firebox walls. You'll need a front, back, and 2 side walls. The size of your firebox will depend on the size of your stove and how much heat you want it to generate. Next, cut out openings for the door and the flue. The door opening should be large enough to easily load wood, while the flue opening should match the diameter of your stovepipe. Now, carefully weld the firebox walls together, ensuring tight seams to prevent smoke from escaping. Once the firebox is assembled, it's time to line it with firebrick. Firebrick acts as insulation, protecting the steel from the intense heat of the fire and radiating that heat more efficiently. Use high-temperature stove cement to adhere the firebrick to the inside walls of the firebox. Remember, a well-lined firebox is a happy and long-lasting firebox.